Hey everybody, this is Dan from bgamecharacter.com, and today we're building a homemade dehydrator for under $20. For supplies, you're going to need a cardboard box, a heat lamp with a fixture to put it in, some kind of grate to rest the food on, duct tape, and some foil. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is we're taking our duct tape and tearing it into small strips and then rolling them into little flat rolls like this. And you're going to put those inside of your open box in the bottom of the box, which will eventually be the back of our dehydrator. And you're going to stick them like so you have good coverage on all sides. Once you've got your tape sticky set up, you want to size a strip of foil to the back of the box. Depending on the size of your box that you use, you may need a couple of strips of foil to cover the back layer. You want to just slide it in and get as even a coverage as possible as you can and press it down on the tape stickies. The foil will help to reflect the heat back onto whatever it is you're looking to dehydrate, as well as help contain the heat a bit within the box. So I press down all the sides like so, and Lucas comes to help. Now you can see here I've skipped ahead a bit, but basically all I've done is just repeat the process until the entire inside of the box is covered with foil. You can see even the flaps, the top, the bottom, everything. And remember, what is the bottom of the box right now is actually going to become the back of our dehydrator when all is said and done. Now here I've stood the box up on its end, and what was previously the bottom is now the back, as you can see by how the flaps are oriented. And I'm drawing a vent in the top of the box here, just roughing out a box. And that vent is to let the hot air that is within the box rise out and escape so it can draw the moisture out with it through convection. Then I take an X-Acto knife and I just go in real gently and I just take out the cardboard. And the X-Acto knife should go through the foil on the other side, but be careful as you're doing this and make sure you're not like tearing and dragging the foil with you because that'll ruin your foil coverage on the inside. Now here I've got my really funky looking, I don't know, 50s era, 60s era lamp that I found in the attic, and I am tracing a hole to cut out on the box of the light fixture so that I can plug it through the box and have the bulb on the inside, but that big old light fixture will sit on the outside, so I don't have to worry about fitting it inside of the dehydrator. You can see there's the hole that I traced out, and then once again with the X-Acto knife, go in real gently, and want to make sure you're not tearing the foil on the inside as you're doing this, and you just want to go ahead and cut that out. And ta-da! It fits perfectly. You see then the fixture's on the outside, but the bulb can go on the inside, like so. Now next comes the most tedious part. You want to trace out where you're going to have your drying racks. Now the number of drying racks you can have is kind of limited by the size of your box as well as the power of your light bulb. When I first started this project, I went with a 60-watt heat bulb, and it turns out that took way too long for the number of drying racks I had and the size of the box that I had, so I later upgraded to a 150-watt bulb. But anyway, you can see here I'm tracing out the width of the drying racks, and I just used regular old strips of welded wire that I had lying around in my garage, and yes, I disinfected them first. But then I'm going to go ahead with the X-Acto knife and I'm just going to, again, carefully trace out the holes. So now you can see I skipped ahead a bit. I cut 4 slots out on each side for the drying racks to go through, and that'll allow me to easily pull them out and clean them after I've dehydrated something. You know, you always want to clean between so that you don't have germs hanging out in your drying racks. But there you go. Now here I got my drying rack and I'm just going to thread it in through one slot to the one on the other side. Want to be careful I don't catch the foil on the way across so I don't tear it. And if you don't have welded wire line around your house, you could also use like a cookie drying rack, or you could pick up something from the dollar store, even just something that has holes in it that allows the air and the heat to pass through, and that you can wash afterwards, that you can disinfect your drying racks between use. And there you have it. Our dehydrator is almost done. See, I can close the flaps, and there's our drying rack sticking out the side. And straighten them out a bit. And that's the basic design. Now here you can see everything is basically assembled. I've got the lamp plugged in. Now what you should notice is I also use duct tape to plug the holes for the drying racks on the side, and I also cut a small vent down here in the bottom to allow air in for the convection heat to move through. I actually later on bought a small fan and plugged it into that hole to allow air movement even quicker and actually sped up the drying process quite a bit. Now we just screw our heat bulb in and stand back and flick the light on. Bam. It's actually very bright, and that was with the 60 watt bulb. Remember later on I actually upgraded to 150 watt to speed up the drying process a bit. But there you have it. Our dehydrator is finished. Now you can use this for making homemade dried fruits, homemade beef jerky, stuff like that. I'm going to be posting a couple of recipes on the website in the coming weeks for things you can make with the dehydrator. But yeah, I spent 10 bucks on the heat bulb and everything else I had lying around my house. There you go. Dehydrator for under 20 bucks. Ta-da!